The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Meryl Streep walked through the crystalline doors, her boots echoing against the polished floor. Behind her, on a thick leather leash, trotted a creature that made the assembled delegates recoil in their seats. "What is that?" Ambassador Zixthor hissed, his three eyes widening in horror. The creature, a German shepherd named Apollo, panted happily, tongue lolling, completely oblivious to the terror he inspired. Meryl smiled, reaching down to scratch behind Apollo's ears. He's just my good boy." The Vrelian representative slammed a tentacle against the console. "That is a feral monster. Look at those teeth, those claws, the predatory eyes. He's a dog," Meryl said calmly, taking her seat at the human delegation table. Apollo settled at her feet, tail wagging, a domesticated companion animal. Humans have lived alongside them for over 15,000 years. The chamber erupted in shocked chittering and electronic buzzing. Brad Pitt, the other human representative, leaned back in his chair with an amused grin. He'd warned Meryl this would happen, but she'd insisted on bringing Apollo to prove a point about human nature. 15,000 years? The Karathi delegate's voice box crackled with disbelief. "You've kept apex predators in your homes for that long?" "Well," Brad interjected, "we didn't really keep them. It was more of a mutual partnership. They helped us hunt, guarded our settlements, and we shared our food and fire. Eventually, they became family." "Family?" Zixthor leaned forward, his scales rippling with confusion. "You claim kinship with predators?" Meryl nodded. "Not just dogs, cats too. And horses, birds, reptiles, you name it. Humans have this thing about taking in animals and making them part of our lives." An elderly Srathi counselor, her crystalline form refracting the chamber's light, spoke in measured tones. "Perhaps the humans do not understand. We have studied your species extensively since first contact. You are already apex predators yourselves. Your forward-facing eyes, your persistence hunting capabilities, your omnivorous adaptations. Why would a predator species domesticate other predators?" Brad and Meryl exchanged glances. This was the crux of why the Galactic Council found humans so unsettling. "Because we're pack animals," Brad said simply. "We form bonds. It's what we do." Apollo chose that moment to yawn, displaying a mouthful of sharp teeth. Several delegates activated their personal shield generators. "Your good boy could tear through hull plating," the Vrelian protested. "Those jaws are designed to crush bone." "Sure," Meryl agreed. "He could, but he won't. Watch this." She pulled a treat from her pocket and held it up. "Apollo, sit." The dog immediately sat, tail sweeping the floor, eyes locked on the treat with laser focus. "Paw." Apollo lifted his right paw. Other paw. He switched paws without hesitation. "Good boy." Meryl gave him the treat, and Apollo accepted it gently from her fingers, despite having jaws powerful enough to break steel. The chamber was silent, processing what they'd witnessed. A predator, fully capable of violence, exercising perfect restraint and obedience. "How?" the Karathi delegate whispered. "How did you make it submit?" "We didn't make him submit," Brad explained, leaning forward. "We earned his trust and loyalty. That's the difference you're all missing. It's not about domination, it's about partnership, respect, and love." "Love?" Zixthor's translator struggled with the concept. "For a creature that could kill you?" Meryl's expression softened. "Let me tell you about Apollo. 3 years ago, I was on a survey mission on Theta 7. My team was ambushed by raiders. I was separated, injured, trapped in a canyon with a broken leg." She paused, her hand resting on Apollo's head. "Apollo tracked me for 3 days through hostile terrain. When he found me, he stayed by my side, kept me warm through the freezing nights, and drove off scavengers. He saved my life." "A trained military asset," the Strathi counselor observed. "No," Brad corrected. "Apollo isn't military. He's Meryl's personal pet. He saved her because he loves her. Because that's what dogs do. They're loyal to their humans beyond reason, beyond self-preservation." The Vrelian delegate's membranes fluttered nervously. "But the danger is minimal," Meryl interrupted. "Because we raised him right, trained him properly, and gave him a good life. In return, he gives us unconditional love and protection. That's the human way. We don't just conquer or dominate. We befriend, we nurture, we form bonds with the universe around us." Brad stood up, addressing the council. "You all want to know what makes humans dangerous? It's not our weapons or our warships. It's this," he gestured to Apollo. "It's our ability to turn potential enemies into loyal friends. We did it with wolves and turned them into dogs. We've done it with dozens of species on Earth, and we'll keep doing it across the galaxy. You're saying, the Karathi delegate said slowly, that humans can befriend anything? Pretty much, Merrill confirmed. Given enough time and the right approach, yeah. It's in our nature to reach out, to connect, to find common ground. Apollo suddenly stood up, his ears perking. A small cleaning drone had entered the chamber, its sensors blinking. The dog's tail began wagging furiously. Apollo, no, Merrill started, but it was too late. The German shepherd bounded toward the drone with pure joy, wanting to play. The council erupted in panic, shields activating, alarms blaring. But Apollo simply began running circles around the confused drone, play-bowing and barking happily. Brad burst out laughing. And that's the other thing about dogs. They'll try to befriend anything, too. Wonder where they learned that. Merrill called Apollo back, and he returned obediently, though he kept looking back at his potential new friend with longing eyes. The Srathi counselor's crystalline form seemed to glow brighter, her species equivalent of a smile. I begin to understand. The human capacity for forming connections is not a weakness, it is perhaps your greatest strength. Exactly, Merrill said, sitting back down with Apollo at her feet. We don't see monsters. We see potential friends, allies, and family. That's what makes us human. Zixthor slowly deactivated his shield. And this philosophy extends to other species? Even us, Brad grinned. Why do you think we've been so patient with this council? We're not here to conquer or intimidate. We're here to make friends. The chamber remained quiet for a long moment. Then, tentatively, the Vrelian delegate spoke. Your creature, Apollo. May I observe him more closely? Merrill's smile widened. Of course. He's friendly. Just hold out your tentacle. He might lick it, though. As the session continued, more delegates approached, curiosity overcoming fear. Apollo, the supposed feral monster, greeted each one with gentle enthusiasm.
Tail never stopping its happy rhythm. By the end of the meeting,
the Galactic Council had learned an important lesson. Humans didn't just survive by being apex predators. They thrived by turning the universe into family, one good boy at a time.